How's it going, everybody? It is Sam here with BFPGear.com, and today we're going to be continuing the upgrade series. This is going to be episode 5, and we're going to be upgrading our mid-grade setup here to something that is going to be high-end, something that's going to have that, extra performance to it. It's going to be easier to, take apart, maintain, clean. It's going to have those high-end features that we're looking for in a paintball marker. And of course, we're going to be looking at some other options as well, such as goggles, air tank, and a loader. So with that said, I'm going to go grab some stuff, and I will see you guys after the intro. A quick disclaimer before we get started is that all of the prices that are said in this video are at the time of the video being made. So if you want to get the most up-to-date information, we're going to have links in the description down below, so please click them and get the most updated information. So the first and biggest piece that you're going to be upgrading from is going to be your paintball marker. Now the Etha 3 is a really kick-ass paintball marker and offers that tournament grade style performance for under 600 bucks. But again, you went out, you've been playing speedball, or maybe you've just been playing woods ball and you found someone out there using a higher end marker and you really liked it. So I do have a handful of options available here. So we're going to set our Etha 3 down off to the side. And the first one that I've got here is going to be the Shocker Era. Now, one of the cool things about the Shocker Era is that I think this has the best quality of life features amongst the markers that you're about to see. They've completely reworked this thing from its previous predecessor, the Shocker Amp, and this is honestly one of like the smallest, and it feels really good. Like, I like the grips a lot. It's got an easy removal bolt system, and then you're going to be getting a 3-piece barrel. It's going to be the Freak XL. All you do is unscrew this thing, and then you have a back, a front, and inserts. So you already get a barrel kit, which is really slick. Really simple marker to use, and it's very easy to take apart and service as well. They do come in a wide variety of colors, and they are currently priced at $994.95. But that's just one of the options there. The next one that I'm going to have is going to be none other than the Planet Eclipse GTEK 180R. The GTEK 180R is an absolute workhorse of a paintball marker, and it boasts what Planet Eclipse does the best. That is reliability and, of course, their customer service. The GTEK 180R is currently priced at $1,095.95, also comes in a variety of different colors, and shares, I'd say, a lot of features that the Shocker Era has, like a 3-piece barrel system, but it does operate quite a bit differently. I would say that the Pops ASA on the bottom here is probably the best ASA that you're going to get amongst, honestly, any paintball marker. And that's something that you're going to continue on with if you go from the Etha 3 to its new big brother here. But the GTEK 180R is an amazing paintball marker. It is very easy to service, take apart, all that kind of stuff. And again, Planet Eclipse's reliability is just completely unrivaled. Now, the last marker option available here, or I guess I should say as a high end, is going to be the DSR Plus. The DSR Plus is completely different from the Shocker and the GTEK because this thing just boasts this incredible old school style sort of spool valve shot. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you've never shot like a Geo, like a Geo 3, Geo 4, or even the new Geo R5, this thing is buttery smooth, and it's very quiet. This thing just has like the softest feeling shot out of all of these markers here. And it's just absolutely crazy how smooth and consistent the DSR Plus is. Now, one of the only downsides to the DSR Plus is that its bolt removal system is still pretty easy, but you have to do this like weird kind of push-pull thing. And then the ASA does leave a little bit more to be desired. But if you really want to get a paintball marker that is really smooth, really quiet, and you love that just, again, buttery smooth shot, this is going to be the marker for you. DSR Pluses start out at $1,099.95, and they work their way up because there are some color options that have, like some fades, some cool designs and stuff like that. Those ones tend to be a little bit more expensive, but they do start at that $1,099.95 point. So now that I have selected my paintball marker, I, as you can see here, I have chosen to upgrade to the DSR Plus because I love the spool valve style shot so much. I love the fact that like a gun like this, I can shoot it and it's gonna feel like the gun's broken, and then I go and chronograph it and it's shooting like 290 feet per second. So sticking with the DSR Plus for that reason. That and red's my favorite color, so no brainer. But the next thing we're upgrading is going to be our air system. And as you can see here, I have the Alpha Air 68 4500 from HK Army. And honestly, this is one of the best air bottles, systems, tanks, whatever you want to call it, that you can get. These are small, they are lightweight, and I absolutely love them. And this 68 is just killer. But I want to upgrade my air system. And honestly, one of the only things I can really do at this point is if I wanted to upgrade my air system, I could look at some of the more expensive options, but that tends to be a bottle separated from the regulator, and then you have to combine those two things together. Instead, I have the same bottle here, just a different color, and I have a different regulator installed. So I would just recommend at this point to upgrade your regulator. Going from the HP8 regulator, it's a very basic regulator that just has a flat output pressure, and when you screw it into your paintball marker, wherever, you know, the gauge and the burst discs and the fill nipple, like wherever they sit is where they sit. The nice thing about these Pro regulators is that the output pressure is adjustable. So if you need to lower it, you can. If you need to, you know, make it go higher, you can. And they're adjustable for the bonnet and the orientation. So if I screw the tank on, and as you can see here, the gauge is facing up, let's say it screws on like this, I can just undo a couple set screws and then rotate it while it's not under pressure, meaning no air in the bottle itself. And then I can set it back into place, and now it's going to screw on like that every time I screw it onto my new gun. So that would be my biggest recommendation, is not so much upgrading your entire air system, but just upgrade the regulator. These regulators do start at $109.95, and they can work their way up, but there are special colors and designs, but they do start out just shy of 110 bucks. Now that I've upgraded my air tank, or rather I just upgraded my air tank regulator, and I've got the orientation set up to how I want it to be, it's time to start looking at new loaders. Now, yeah, the Triad is a great loader, especially for the price, and it feeds super quietly, and it has that rainlet and speed feed built in, but maybe I want something that's going to be a little bit better, a little bit more bang for my buck. I do have a couple of loaders picked out, and the first one I'm going to show off is going to be the HK Army TFX3. The TFX3 is literally an all-in-one package, which I think is really cool, and it's priced at $179.95. They do come in a wide variety of different colors. You're also going to get a rain lid, a speed feed. You have a rechargeable battery pack on the inside, so getting to that battery pack can be a little bit of a pain, but it is pretty simple. But you don't ever have to worry about your batteries dying on you. Like, if they do die on you though, or maybe you forgot to charge them overnight or something, you just charge it in your car. All it takes is a Type-C charger. It's really sweet. It also comes with an expansion piece too if you are like a back player and you shoot more paint, which I think is really cool. But the standard capacity when it is in its stock setup is going to be about 180 paintballs in the loader, which I think is a little bit of a lower amount, and it would be nice if it was a little bit larger. And that expansion piece does make it look a little awkward, at least in my opinion, but you do get to have about 230 rounds instead. The TFX3 is a great choice, and it is going to save you some money in the long run because, again, you have a rechargeable battery pack in here. So if you forget batteries at home, or you forgot to change batteries in your loader, you don't have to worry about that. You just plug it in using a USB-C type charger, and that's it. You just start charging it. The other cool thing is that it has a little battery gauge on it too. You just push a button and it shows you what the battery's sitting at. Next up is going to be the Die R2. Now the Die R2 is the continuation of the LTR, or rather the evolution of the LTR, and it is a pretty slick loader here. And of course I got this black and red one because I like the way it looks, and I think it's going to match this setup down here. But the Die R2 has a really cool feature, and that is that you can actually expand it on the fly. All you do is you just move this little slide piece to the side, and then you just lift up on it, and then your loader goes from carrying 200 paintballs to 260 paintballs, which is absolutely crazy. And the fact that you can just do that whenever you need to is really handy. It also has the same feature as the LTR, which is the unjam feature. So if you ever have any like weird paintballs or something like that and it jams, all you do is you just pull that little trigger on the bottom and it's going to unjam it for you. The die R2 does start at $189.95 for an all black one, but if you get one that's got these kind of like cool oil slick accents to it, or the camo one, you're basically looking at 10 bucks more at $199.95. So with all of that said and done, I'm actually gonna go with the die R2 because the die LTR is such a kick-ass loader and I really like it. So I'm gonna stick with die and I'm gonna go with the die R2. But now we need to look at our last component, and that's going to be our goggle system. So let me go grab those because there are still a few of those to look at, and I think we're going to upgrade our goggles. Now that is looking like a really, really sweet high-end setup. I mean, this thing is absolutely gorgeous and it feels really, really good in the hands. But last thing to upgrade with our setup here is going to be our goggle system. Now, again, this is one of those components that you don't need to upgrade, but you can if you want to, or maybe you're tired of wearing the same old goggle or something like that. The Bunker King's Command Goggle is still one of the best goggle systems, I think, especially at its price point. But again, we want to upgrade to something new because we just got this whole new setup, this really, really sick high-end setup, and this is the last component. So, with that said, first up is going to be the Empire EVS. Now the Empire EVS goggle is a really, really sweet goggle system because this thing is just all lens. I mean, this has the best field of view that you're going to get from any goggle system on the market. It's got great breathability, and if you're an airsoft player, it also has an airsoft insert, which is really cool to cover these little mouth holes here. But it also comes with two lenses. So you got the smoke lens usually pre-installed, and then it also comes with the clear lens. EVSs do start at $179.95, and they can work their way up based on the design, or if they come with maybe like a mirrored lens or something like that. But the EVS is just second to none when it comes to visibility. It's going to allow you to see everything out there on the paintball field when you're in like intense firefights and stuff like that. I love this goggle system a lot, and the price point is just right, especially for one that comes with two lenses. But we're going to look at a couple other options here. To stick in tandem with our die products that we have here, of course, we got to have the Die i5 goggle. The Die i5 goggle system is going to start at $199.95, and it does work its way up based on those designs, and they have plenty of different designs to choose from, but they all kind of vary in price point. The Die i5 has, I would say, one of the coolest lens systems out there. It's pretty easy to swap out, but you have your choice of all these beautiful mirror finishes, but the inside treatment is different with almost every single one of them, which I think is a really cool thing. So if you have any kind of light sensitivity issue or a preferred filtering when you're out there playing, you can find the lens that's perfect for you. The other thing that makes the Die i5 goggle stand out quite a bit as well is the GSR Pro Strap. So the GSR Pro Strap is, instead of, pulling against like these two plastic rungs or metal rungs on the strap to tighten it, you just turn this dial instead. And then the cool thing is that the secondary feature of the GSR Pro Strap is that you have this big pad on the back of your head. So if you are a front guy and you're in snake and someone goes up and shoots you up close, you're going to be very thankful that they hit the strap instead of the back of your noggin. But the i5 is a great goggle system, and again, they start at 200 bucks. They work their way up. Now, the last goggle system is going to be the newest one that has come out, at least recently, and that's going to be the Virtue Vio X6. The X6 is probably one of my favorite goggle systems that is currently available. And the reason why it's called the X6 is because it comes with two extra face plates, which is this bottom piece here, and then an extra set of ears. So you can mix and match parts however you want, and you can make it stand out more. And I've seen some folks out there buy two of these, and then they just mix the parts from both goggles. It's really cool, and it's all super interchangeable. You're gonna get that beautiful triple layered foam as well for maximum comfort. And that's gonna be found on every one of these goggle systems. And we're just gonna show you what they look like because maybe one's more comfortable than the other. You gotta try them on to find out anyway. But the other thing that the X6 does that's really, really cool is this 4-point strap. So just like I was saying about those little rungs that you pull to tighten, this one you have 2 sets of those, which can maybe be a little bit complicated, but the reality is that this is gonna have the best fit on your head. And the way I like to kind of orient these on my head is I like to have one kind of up and over the top a little bit. So it kind of brings the goggle up against my face, and then this one just tightens it so it stays nice and secure. So you're always gonna get that really, really perfect and comfortable fit with the X6 goggle. The X6 goggles are $219.95, but you do get a lot in one package with these things, and they are super comfortable, and I love the breathability on them. And because of those features, I'm actually gonna pick this as the goggle to upgrade to, and that is because I own one of these and I absolutely love it. So now that we've got everything, let's get some closing remarks. And there you go. You now have a badass high-end paintball marker setup. You upgraded from your mid-grade setup, and now you're gonna go out there. You're probably gonna be playing every weekend now because you're gonna love how the DSR Plus shoots. But I picked the DSR Plus because, again, I love how it shoots. I love that old school spool valve style shot that's like super quiet and buttery smooth. And I've probably said smooth like 50 times in this video. I don't know, but I can't get over how good these things shoot. You upgraded your air tank as well with the new regulator, and it's not so much the bottle that is like an issue or anything like that. It's just upgrading the regulator is going to be a massive improvement over that standard regulator, because now you have the ability to adjust your output pressure if you need to lower it for higher end markers, which in some cases you do. But the other nice thing is that you can rotate it so you don't have parts like this sticking out and digging into your wrist, and now you have it in the orientation that you want it in. And then of course you upgrade your loader. We went from that Triad to the R2 because the R2 just has such great features. I don't need to worry about this thing really feeding slow. Like, these things feed super fast. And of course, last but not least, we upgraded our goggle system. The X6 is probably my favorite goggle system that's come out in the past few months. And it just has everything that I need in one package, which, I mean, I'm probably gonna swap some parts on this bad boy. But if you're looking to upgrade your mid-range setup and get something high-end like this, you can do that right now on BFPGear.com.